To you, Forky, to Karen Beverly, to be your beloved bride.
Yay-ha! I now pronounce you husband and knife. Oh, poison the maid of honor!
Bonnie, there's a package for you.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Hi there, I'm Lilypad. Let's play.
Oh, extinction! Not again!
Bonnie, screen time's over now.
Okay.
I want to talk to you, Device.
Please, call me Lily.
Me and the toys have been working all summer to try and get Bonnie to make friends.
Yeah.
But then you had to ruin
Got
it.
it.
You're not even listening to me.
I'm always listening. See?
Now look here, me and the toys have been working all summer.
No, in Spanish.
Con los gemelos Jordan, al otro lado del
What?
Yeah, I got dibs on behind the dresser.
Woody!
Jesse, hello?
Is it as bad out there for toys as they say it is?
We're finding more abandoned toys each day.
We're down!
Tex invaded our house, too.
I don't know, Jesse. Toys are for play, but tech is for everything.
I'm losing Bonnie to this device.
Came here as fast as I could.
Why are you wearing a dress, Woody?
It's called a poncho, Forky.
Someone needs a brown marker.
Halt! Who goes there?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I come in peace.
It's been too long, cowboy.
What are you, some sort of old man toy?
What?
She thinks you're old because you're bald, Woody.
Bonnie needs help from someone at least from the same century. So long, toys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Holly Buzz. We're thrilled to have you with us for another exciting movie breakdown. If you're a fan of animated films, unforgettable characters, and heartwarming adventures, then today's video is one you definitely won't want to miss. Today, we're diving deep into Toy Story 5, one of the most highly anticipated animated movies of 2026 and the latest chapter in Pixar's legendary Toy Story franchise. After years of unforgettable memories with Woody, Buzz Lightyear, Jessie, and the rest of the beloved toys, the adventure continues with a brand new story that promises fresh challenges, emotional moments, exciting surprises, and another unforgettable journey. Since the very first Toy Story was released in 1995, this franchise has changed the world of animation forever. It introduced audiences to characters that have become a part of popular culture and proved that animated movies can deliver not only laughter and adventure, but also powerful emotions and meaningful life lessons. Over the years, each installment has explored themes such as friendship, loyalty growing up, family change, and the importance of never forgetting those who stand beside us. Now, Toy Story 5 returns to continue that incredible legacy while opening the door to a brand new chapter for both longtime fans and a new generation of viewers. In today's video, we'll explore every important aspect of Toy Story 5 in complete detail. We'll discuss its production, creative team, release information, characters, hidden details, animation, themes, behind-the-scenes facts, trailer analysis, budget, box office performance, and much more. Our goal is to provide you with a complete and easy-to-understand breakdown while avoiding unnecessary spoilers whenever possible. So whether you've already watched the movie or are planning to see it soon, there's plenty here to enjoy. So sit back, relax, and join us as we uncover everything you need to know about Toy Story 5. From fascinating production details to exciting facts that many viewers may have missed. This is your complete guide to one of Pixar's biggest animated releases. Let's begin our journey into the wonderful world of Toy Story 5. Toy Story 5 continues the beloved journey of Pixar's iconic toys by exploring a brand new chapter in their lives, one that reflects how the world around them has changed over time. Rather than simply repeating the formula of the previous films, this installment focuses on the challenges that arise when traditional toys must find their place in a generation, increasingly surrounded by modern technology, digital entertainment, and changing childhood interests. The movie examines how these changes affect the toys' purpose while reminding audiences that friendship, loyalty, and imagination remain timeless values. At its heart, the film covers the emotional relationship between toys and the children who love them. It explores what it truly means to be a toy in a world where tablets, smartphones, video games, and electronic devices compete for children's attention. Instead of treating this as a simple conflict, the story examines how both old and new forms of play can influence childhood, creating situations that are funny, emotional, and thought-provoking at the same time. The movie also follows the toys as they face unexpected challenges that test their unity and determination. Throughout their adventure, they encounter situations that require courage, teamwork, quick thinking, and selflessness. Every obstacle they face pushes them to grow both individually and as a group, reinforcing the idea that their greatest strength has always been their friendship and willingness to stand by one another no matter how difficult the circumstances become. Another major focus of the film is personal growth. Several characters are forced to confront questions about identity, responsibility, and change. As the story progresses, they learn that growing and adapting to new situations does not mean abandoning who they are. Instead, the movie suggests that embracing change while remaining true to one's values is an important part of life, both for toys and for the people watching them. The film also celebrates imagination, reminding audiences that toys are much more than physical objects. They become symbols of creativity, adventure, comfort, and childhood memories. Through exciting adventures and heartfelt emotional moments, the story highlights how imaginative play helps children develop confidence, curiosity, and meaningful connections with the world around them. Even as technology continues to evolve, the movie argues that imagination remains one of the most valuable gifts of childhood. Family. Relationships also play an important role throughout the story. While the adventure primarily follows the toys, the emotional connection between children, parents, and cherished possessions continues to shape many of the film's most meaningful moments. The movie explores how memories are created through everyday experiences and how the objects that accompany us during childhood often become powerful reminders of love, happiness, and personal growth. Humor remains another essential part of what the movie covers. Like previous entries in the franchise, Toy Story 5 balances emotional storytelling with clever comedy, fast-paced adventures, visual gags, and entertaining interactions between its colorful cast of characters. This combination allows the movie to appeal to both younger audiences enjoying the adventure and older viewers who appreciate its deeper emotional themes and nostalgic references. Beyond its exciting story, the movie also reflects on the passage of time. It acknowledges that the world continues to change, children grow older, and new generations experience childhood differently from those before them. Rather than resisting these changes, the film encourages audiences to appreciate the memories of the past while remaining hopeful about the future. This message gives the story emotional depth without losing the sense of fun and optimism that has always defined the Toy Story franchise. Ultimately, Toy Story 5 covers far more than a simple animated adventure. It explores friendship, loyalty, courage, imagination, change, childhood, family, and the enduring bond between children and their favorite toys. By combining heartfelt emotion with exciting storytelling and timeless life lessons, the movie continues the legacy of one of Pixar's most beloved franchises while offering audiences a meaningful new chapter that speaks to viewers of all ages. Toy Story 5 marks the latest chapter in Pixar's legendary animated franchise, continuing the journey of the world's most beloved toys with a fresh story that blends adventure, humor, and heartfelt emotion. Rather than simply revisiting familiar ideas, the film expands the Toy Story universe by placing its iconic characters in a completely new situation that reflects the changing world around them. While staying true to the spirit of the previous movies, this installment introduces new conflicts, new characters, and new emotional experiences that move the story forward in meaningful ways. The movie follows Woody, Buzz Lightyear, Jessie, and their friends as they find themselves facing circumstances unlike anything they have experienced before. Their peaceful lives are interrupted by unexpected events that force them into another unforgettable adventure. As the story unfolds, the toys must navigate unfamiliar environments, overcome difficult obstacles, and make important decisions that challenge both their courage and their friendships. Every step of their journey reveals new surprises, keeping the audience engaged while allowing the characters to grow emotionally. Unlike earlier films that focused primarily on finding a way home or adjusting to a new owner, Toy Story 5 explores a broader world filled with modern challenges and changing perspectives. The movie presents an adventure that is larger in scale while still maintaining the personal, character-driven storytelling that has always been the heart of the franchise. The balance between exciting action and emotional depth ensures that the film appeals to both longtime fans and a new generation of viewers. Discovering these characters for the first time, one of the defining features of the movie is its strong ensemble cast. Instead of concentrating on only one character, the story gives multiple toys meaningful roles throughout the adventure. Each character contributes different strengths, personalities, and perspectives, creating entertaining interactions and allowing the group to solve problems together. Their relationships continue to evolve naturally, demonstrating that trust, loyalty, and teamwork remain the foundation of every Toy Story adventure. Visually, Toy Story 5 showcases Pixar's continued advancement in computer animation. Every environment is filled with extraordinary detail, realistic lighting, expressive character animation, and beautifully crafted textures that make the world feel more immersive than ever before. Whether the story takes place indoors or outdoors, each location is designed with remarkable attention to detail, helping the audience feel fully immersed in the toys' miniature perspective of the world. The movie also maintains the franchise's signature balance of comedy and emotion. Funny conversations, clever visual humor, and exciting action sequences provide constant entertainment, while quieter moments allow the characters to reflect on friendship, purpose, and the meaning of belonging. This combination of laughter and heartfelt storytelling has always been one of Pixar's greatest strengths, and Toy Story 5 continues that tradition with confidence. Another important aspect of the film is its emotional maturity. While children can enjoy the colorful animation and adventurous storyline, older audiences will recognize deeper themes involving change, identity, responsibility, growing up, and adapting to an evolving world. These universal ideas allow the movie to resonate across different generations, making it much more than a typical family animation. Overall, Toy Story 5 is an ambitious continuation of one of cinema's most celebrated animated franchises. It combines exciting adventure, memorable characters, spectacular animation, meaningful relationships, and emotional storytelling into a new chapter that honors the legacy of the previous films while confidently moving the series into the future. The result is a movie that celebrates everything audiences have always loved about Toy Story while introducing fresh experiences that make this latest adventure feel both familiar and completely new. Story 5 belongs to several genres, making it a film that appeals to audiences of all ages. At its core, it is an animated family adventure, but it also blends elements of comedy, fantasy, drama, and emotional storytelling. Rather than relying on a single genre, Pixar combines these different styles to create a movie that feels entertaining, meaningful, and emotionally satisfying from beginning to end. The movie's primary genre is animation. Like every previous installment in the franchise, the film is created using state-of-the-art computer-generated animation, CGI. Pixar is known for constantly pushing the boundaries of animation technology, and Toy Story 5 continues that tradition with highly detailed environments, realistic lighting, expressive character movements, and visually stunning effects. Every toy, room, street, and background is carefully designed to create a believable world where everyday objects come to life whenever humans are not watching. Another major genre is adventure. Throughout the movie, the toys leave the safety of their familiar surroundings and find themselves caught in an unexpected journey filled with new locations, surprising encounters, dangerous obstacles, and exciting challenges. Their adventure is not simply about traveling from one place to another. It is about overcoming difficult situations, solving problems together, and discovering new possibilities along the way. This adventurous structure keeps the story moving forward while maintaining a constant sense of excitement and curiosity. Comedy is another defining element of the film. The Toy Story franchise has always balanced emotional storytelling with clever humor, and this installment continues that tradition. Much of the comedy comes from the personalities of the toys themselves. Their conversations, misunderstandings, creative problem-solving, and unique perspectives on the human world create humorous situations that entertain both children and adults. The comedy is designed to feel natural and character-driven, rather than relying only on visual gags or slapstick humor. The movie also belongs to the fantasy genre because it is built around an impossible but magical concept. Toys secretly come to life whenever people are not around. This imaginative idea has been the foundation of the franchise since the very first film. Toy Story 5 expands this fantasy world even further, introducing new toys, new environments, and fresh situations while remaining faithful to the established rules of the toy story universe. The fantasy elements encourage viewers to imagine that every toy might have its own secret life and personality. In addition, Toy Story 5 contains strong elements of drama. While the movie includes plenty of action and comedy, it also explores meaningful emotional situations that challenge the characters personally. Moments of uncertainty, sacrifice, friendship, separation, hope, and personal growth give the story emotional depth and make the audience genuinely care about the outcome of the adventure. These dramatic elements are carefully balanced with lighter moments, ensuring that the movie remains engaging without becoming overly serious. The film can also be described as a coming-of-age family story, although its focus is broader than previous installments. It explores how both children and toys adapt to change, reminding audiences that growing older does not mean leaving behind imagination, friendship, or cherished memories. This emotional layer allows the movie to connect with viewers from different generations, whether they grew up watching the original Toy Story or are experiencing the franchise for the first time. Ultimately, Toy Story 5 is much more than a simple animated movie. It is a carefully balanced combination of animation, adventure, comedy, fantasy, family entertainment, and emotional drama. Each genre contributes something unique to the overall experience, allowing the film to deliver thrilling adventures, memorable laughter, heartfelt emotions, and meaningful life lessons within a single unforgettable story. This rich blend of genres is one of the reasons why the Toy Story franchise continues to remain one of the most beloved and successful animated series in cinematic history. Toy Story 5 was officially released in theaters on June 19, 2026, marking the long-awaited return of Pixar's most iconic animated franchise. The release date was carefully chosen as part of the summer movie season, a period when families, children, and movie lovers around the world traditionally head to cinemas to enjoy major blockbuster releases. By premiering in June, the film was positioned to reach the widest possible audience. During school holidays and the peak of the summer box office period, the movie received an exclusive theatrical release, meaning audiences experienced the film first on the big screen before it became available through digital platforms or streaming services. Pixar has always believed that the Toy Story films are designed to be cinematic experiences where the large-scale animation, emotional storytelling, colorful visuals, and powerful musical score can be fully appreciated in a theater environment. Watching the movie in cinemas allows viewers to experience every emotional moment, humorous scene, and spectacular adventure exactly as the filmmakers intended. The June release also carried special significance because it reunited audiences with characters they have loved for more than 3 decades. Since the original Toy Story revolutionized computer animation in 1995, every new installment has become a major cultural event. As a result, the announcement of the release date immediately generated enormous excitement among longtime fans who had grown up with Woody, Buzz Lightyear, Jessie, and the rest of the toy family. Months before the premiere, tickets began attracting strong demand, while trailers, posters, and promotional campaigns built anticipation across social media and entertainment platforms worldwide. Another reason this release date was important is that it gave Toy Story 5 a prime position in Disney and Pixar's theatrical calendar. Launching the movie during the summer ensured maximum visibility in international markets and allowed families to enjoy the film together during vacation periods. The timing also reflected Disney's confidence in the movie, positioning it as one of the studio's biggest animated releases of the year. Following its theatrical debut, the movie continued its release across international markets, allowing audiences around the world to experience the newest chapter of the beloved franchise. While release dates in some countries varied slightly because of local distribution schedules, June 19, 2026 remained the official worldwide launch period for the film. This coordinated global release helped create worldwide excitement, with fans from different countries sharing their reactions, reviews, and favorite moments almost simultaneously. Overall, the release of Toy Story 5 on June 19, 2026 represented far more than the arrival of another animated movie. It marked the return of one of cinema's most beloved franchises, bringing together generations of fans who had followed these unforgettable characters for many years. The carefully planned summer release allowed the film to become one of the most anticipated theatrical events of 2026, celebrating Pixar's legacy while opening an exciting new chapter in the timeless story of Woody, Buzz, and their friends. The official runtime of Toy Story is 1 hour and 42 minutes, 102 minutes. This running time makes it one of the longest films in the Toy Story franchise while still maintaining the fast-paced storytelling and emotional balance that Pixar is known for. Rather than extending the movie unnecessarily, the filmmakers use every minute to develop the characters, expand the story, and deliver a satisfying adventure from beginning to end. The opening portion of the film is carefully paced, allowing audiences to reconnect with Woody, Buzz, Jessie, and the rest of the familiar toys while introducing the movie's new situation. Instead of rushing directly into the main conflict, the story takes time to establish the emotional foundation of the adventure. This slower beginning helps viewers understand how the characters have changed since the previous film and prepares them for the challenges that lie ahead. As the movie progresses, the pacing gradually becomes faster. The middle section is filled with exciting adventures, humorous interactions, creative problem-solving, and emotional moments that keep the story constantly moving forward. Every major scene contributes something important, whether it develops a character, introduces a new challenge, or advances the overall narrative. Because of this careful structure, the film never feels repetitive or unnecessarily stretched despite its longer runtime. The final act brings together everything that has been built throughout the movie. Emotional character moments, thrilling action sequences, and meaningful resolutions are given. Enough screen time to create a satisfying conclusion. Rather than ending abruptly, the filmmakers allow the story to reach a natural emotional finish, giving audiences time to appreciate the characters' journeys and the lessons they have learned. This balanced conclusion is one of the reasons why the runtime feels well utilized from beginning to end. Another advantage of the 1 or 2 minute runtime is that it allows Pixar to maintain its signature balance between comedy and emotion. Funny scenes are never allowed to overshadow the more heartfelt moments, while emotional sequences never slow the adventure too much. The movie continuously alternates between laughter, excitement, suspense, and heartfelt storytelling, creating a viewing experience that remains engaging for both children and adults throughout its entire duration. Overall, the 1 hour and 42-minute runtime gives Toy Story 5 enough space to tell a complete, emotionally rich, and visually spectacular story without feeling either rushed or overly long. Every minute contributes to the adventure, making the film an enjoyable cinematic experience that continues Pixar's tradition of combining entertaining storytelling with meaningful emotional depth. The production of Toy Story 5 is led by Pixar Animation Studios, one of the most influential and award-winning animation studios in the world. Founded in 1986 and now a subsidiary of the Walt Disney Company, Pixar has transformed modern animation through its combination of groundbreaking technology, emotional storytelling, memorable characters, and innovative filmmaking. For more than 3 decades, the studio has consistently produced films that appeal to both children and adults, earning numerous Academy Awards while setting new standards for computer animation. Toy Story 5 continues this remarkable legacy as another major Pixar production. Pixar is not simply responsible for animating the movie, it oversees the entire creative process from the earliest idea to the finished film. Every stage of production, including story development, screenplay planning, concept art, character design, environment creation, animation, lighting, visual effects, editing, sound design, and final rendering, is managed by the studio's highly skilled creative teams. Hundreds of artists, animators, engineers, designers, and filmmakers collaborate over several years to transform a simple concept into a polished cinematic experience that meets Pixar's exceptionally high-quality standards. One of Pixar's greatest strengths is its storytelling philosophy. Rather than creating animated films that focus only on colorful visuals or comedy, the studio builds stories around authentic emotions and relatable characters. Every Pixar movie explores meaningful human experiences such as friendship, family, courage, love, sacrifice, growing up, and personal change. Toy Story 5 continues this tradition by combining spectacular animation with heartfelt storytelling, ensuring that the movie resonates with audiences of every generation. Another defining feature of Pixar's productions is its commitment to technological innovation. Since releasing the original Toy Story in 1995, the world's first fully computer-animated feature film, the studio has continuously developed new animation techniques, rendering technology, lighting systems, simulation tools, and visual effects. Each new production introduces improvements that make characters more expressive, environments more realistic, and cinematic storytelling more immersive. Toy Story 5 benefits from decades of technological advancement, allowing Pixar to create some of the most detailed and visually sophisticated animation ever seen in the franchise. Although Pixar Animation Studios produces the movie, it is presented under the Walt Disney Pictures banner, while Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures handles its worldwide theatrical distribution. This long-standing partnership allows Pixar to focus on the creative side of filmmaking while Disney manages global marketing, international releases, promotional campaigns, merchandising, and theatrical distribution across hundreds of markets worldwide. Together, these companies ensure that Toy Story 5 reaches audiences on a truly global scale. Producing a film of this scale requires years of planning and extraordinary teamwork. Story artists carefully map every scene. Character designers refine each toy's appearance. Animators bring personalities to life frame by frame. Lighting artists create cinematic atmosphere. And composers and sound designers enhance every emotional moment. Each department works closely with the directors and producer to ensure that every creative decision supports the film's overall vision. This collaborative process is one of the key reasons why Pixar movies consistently achieve such a high level of artistic and technical excellence. Ultimately, Toy Story 5 represents another milestone for Pixar Animation Studios, a company that has repeatedly changed the landscape of animated filmmaking. By combining world-class animation technology, emotionally engaging storytelling, unforgettable characters, and decades of creative experience, Pixar continues to demonstrate why it remains one of the most respected production companies in the entertainment industry. Through Toy Story 5, the studio once again delivers a film that honors its extraordinary legacy while continuing to push the boundaries of modern animation. Story 5 is directed by Andrew Stanton, one of Pixar Animation Studios' most accomplished filmmakers and creative storytellers. With a career spanning more than 3 decades, Stanton has played a pivotal role in shaping Pixar's identity and is regarded as one of the studio's most influential directors and screenwriters. His deep understanding of character-driven storytelling, emotional depth, and cinematic world-building has made him one of the key creative figures behind many of Pixar's greatest successes. Andrew Stanton joined Pixar during its early years and contributed to several landmark animated films before becoming a director. He was one of the principal writers of the original Toy Story, 1995, helping establish the personalities, humor, and emotional foundation that turned Woody, Buzz Lightyear, and their friends into some of the most beloved characters in animation history. His involvement with the franchise dates back to the very beginning, giving him a unique understanding of its themes, characters, and long-term evolution. As a director, Stanton earned worldwide recognition with Finding Nemo, 2003, a film praised for its emotional storytelling, breathtaking underwater animation, and memorable characters. The movie became both a critical and commercial success, winning the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature and becoming one of Pixar's most celebrated productions. His ability to combine humor, adventure, and heartfelt emotion established him as one of animation's leading filmmakers. He continued that success with WALL-E, 2008, a groundbreaking animated film that demonstrated the power of visual storytelling. With very little dialogue during its opening act, the movie relied on animation, music, and expressive character performances to communicate emotion. WALL-E received widespread critical acclaim, earned another Academy Award nomination for Best Animated Feature, and is often regarded as one of the greatest animated films ever made. Stanton's direction proved that animation could explore complex themes while remaining accessible to audiences of all ages. In addition to directing, Andrew Stanton is also known for his work as a screenwriter and creative collaborator on many other Pixar classics, including A Bug's Life, Monsters, Inc., Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, and several other projects. His extensive experience across different creative roles has given him a comprehensive understanding of animated filmmaking, allowing him to guide large creative teams while maintaining a clear artistic vision. For Toy Story 5, Stanton returns to a franchise that helped launch Pixar's global success. His familiarity with the characters allows him to respect the emotional legacy of the previous films while confidently introducing new ideas and challenges. Rather than simply repeating earlier adventures, his direction focuses on allowing the characters to continue growing naturally within a changing world, ensuring that the story feels fresh while remaining faithful to the heart of the series. One of Stanton's greatest strengths as a director is his emphasis on emotional authenticity. He believes that spectacular animation alone is not enough. Audiences must genuinely care about the characters and their relationships. This philosophy has shaped every major project he has directed and continues to influence Toy Story 5, where emotional moments, humor, and adventure are carefully balanced to create a meaningful cinematic experience. Throughout production, Stanton worked closely with storyboard artists, animators, voice actors, editors, composers, and every major creative department. He reviewed scenes repeatedly, refining performances, adjusting pacing, improving visual storytelling, and ensuring that every sequence supported the movie's overall emotional journey. This collaborative leadership is one of the reasons Pixar films consistently achieve such a high level of quality. Ultimately, Andrew Stanton's return as the director of Toy Story 5 brings decades of storytelling experience, creative vision, and emotional depth to the franchise. His history with Pixar, combined with his remarkable achievements as both a writer and director, makes him uniquely qualified to guide the next chapter of one of the most beloved animated series in cinema history. Under his direction, Toy Story 5 continues Pixar's tradition of delivering stories that are visually spectacular, emotionally powerful, and unforgettable for audiences around the world. The screenplay for Toy Story 5 is written by Andrew Stanton, one of Pixar's most respected storytellers and one of the original creative minds behind the Toy Story franchise. As both the writer and director of the film, Stanton plays a central role in shaping every aspect of the story, from its emotional themes and character development to its dialogue, pacing, and overall narrative structure. His long history with the franchise gives him a deep understanding of its characters, allowing him to continue their journeys in a way that feels both fresh and faithful to everything audiences have loved since the original film. A screenplay serves as the foundation of every movie, and in Toy Story 5, it functions as the blueprint for the entire production. Before the animators create a single frame or the voice, actors record their performances. The complete story first exists as a written script. Every scene, every conversation, every emotional moment, and every action sequence begins on the page. The screenplay determines how the story unfolds, how the characters interact when humor is introduced, and how the emotional journey reaches its conclusion. One of the screenplay's greatest strengths is its focus on character-driven storytelling. Rather than relying only on exciting adventures or visual spectacle, the script places the characters' emotions and relationships at the center of the narrative. Every important decision made by Woody, Buzz, Jessie, and the other toys is motivated by their personalities, experiences, and loyalty to one another. This approach ensures that the adventure always feels meaningful because every major event influences the characters, emotionally as well as physically. Another important feature of the screenplay is its carefully balanced pacing. The story is structured to alternate naturally between quiet, emotional moments, humorous conversations, suspenseful situations, and exciting action sequences. This rhythm keeps the audience emotionally engaged throughout the film while preventing any single element from dominating the overall experience. The screenplay allows each important scene enough time to develop without slowing the momentum of the adventure. Dialogue is also one of the screenplay's defining strengths. Every character has a unique speaking style that reflects their personality and history. Woody's thoughtful leadership, Buzz Lightyear's confidence, Jessie's energetic optimism, and the distinct personalities of the supporting toys are all expressed through carefully written conversations. The dialogue serves multiple purposes at once. It develops relationships, advances the story, creates humor, reveals emotions, and helps audiences connect with each character on a personal level. The screenplay also introduces new characters in a way that feels natural rather than forced. Instead of simply adding new toys for the sake of expanding the cast, the story gives each newcomer a meaningful role within the adventure. Their personalities, motivations, and interactions with the established characters contribute to the overall narrative while bringing fresh energy to the franchise. This careful integration allows the world of Toy Story to continue growing without losing the charm that made it successful in the first place. Another remarkable aspect of the writing is its ability to combine entertainment with meaningful themes. Beneath the exciting adventure, the screenplay explores universal ideas such as friendship, loyalty, change, purpose, belonging, responsibility, and adapting to an evolving world. These themes are presented naturally through the characters' experiences rather than through lengthy explanations. allowing audiences of different ages to interpret the story in their own way. Because Toy Story 5 continues one of cinema's most beloved animated franchises, the screenplay also carries the responsibility of honoring the legacy of the previous films. It respects the emotional history shared by the characters while introducing new conflicts and opportunities for growth. This balance between nostalgia and originality helps the story feel like a genuine continuation, instead of simply repeating familiar ideas from earlier installments. Ultimately, the screenplay of Toy Story 5 demonstrates Andrew Stanton's exceptional ability to blend humor, emotion, adventure, and character development into one cohesive story. His writing provides the foundation for every memorable scene, ensuring that the movie remains true to the heart of the Toy Story franchise while offering audiences a fresh, engaging, and emotionally rewarding new chapter that continues the legacy of Pixar's most iconic animated series. The producer of Toy Story 5 is Lindsay Collins, PGA, one of Pixar Animation Studios' most accomplished producers and a highly respected figure in the animation industry. As the producer, Collins is responsible for overseeing the entire production of the film, ensuring that every stage of development, from the earliest story ideas to the final theatrical release, is completed smoothly while maintaining Pixar's exceptionally high creative standards. Although directors shape the artistic vision of the movie, the producer is the person who coordinates the massive production process and keeps every department working together toward the same goal. Producing a modern Pixar film is an enormous responsibility. Toy Story 5 required the collaboration of hundreds of professionals, including writers, storyboard artists, character designers, animators, lighting specialists, technical directors, visual effects artists, editors, composers, and sound engineers. Lindsay Collins supervised this large creative operation, helping each department stay organized, meet production deadlines, solve technical challenges, and ensure that the finished movie achieved the level of quality audiences expect from Pixar, rather than working on only one aspect of the film. She remained involved throughout the entire production process. Before producing Toy Story 5, Lindsay Collins built an impressive career at Pixar by contributing to several major animated productions. She worked in production roles on films such as Finding Dory, WALL-E, Ratatouille, and The Incredibles, gaining extensive experience with large-scale animated filmmaking. Over the years, she developed a reputation for successfully managing ambitious productions while supporting filmmakers in bringing emotionally engaging stories to the screen. This experience made her an ideal choice to produce the next chapter of Pixar's most iconic franchise. One of the producer's most important responsibilities is balancing creativity with practical production. During the making of Toy Story 5, Collins worked closely with director Andrew Stanton and co-director Kenna Harris, helping transform their creative ideas into a finished feature film. As new story ideas developed, animation sequences evolved, and technical challenges emerged. She coordinated the production schedule and ensured that different departments remained synchronized. This behind-the-scenes leadership allows the filmmakers to focus on storytelling while keeping the entire project moving efficiently, because Toy Story 5 continues one of the most beloved animated franchises in cinema history. Producing the film involved an additional responsibility, protecting the legacy of the previous movies while allowing the series to evolve. Lindsay Collins worked with the creative team to ensure that the movie respected the emotional history of Woody, Buzz, Jessie, and the other familiar characters while introducing fresh ideas, new characters, and modern themes that would appeal to today's audiences. Maintaining this balance between nostalgia and innovation was one of the production's biggest creative challenges. Another key part of Collins' role was encouraging collaboration across every creative department. Animated movies are built through teamwork, and the producer helps ensure that story artists, animators, composers, editors, voice actors, and technical teams all contribute to a single unified vision. By supporting communication and creative problem-solving throughout production, she helped maintain the consistent storytelling, visual quality, and emotional impact that define Pixar films. Ultimately, Lindsay Collins serves as one of the driving forces behind Toy Story 5. Through years of production experience, strong organizational leadership, and a deep understanding of Pixar's storytelling philosophy, she helped guide one of the studio's most important animated projects from concept to completion. Her work behind the scenes ensured that Toy Story 5 continued the franchise's tradition of combining World-class animation, memorable characters, heartfelt emotion, and unforgettable cinematic storytelling for audiences around the world. Toy Story 5 was made because Pixar believed there were still meaningful stories left to tell about Woody, Buzz Lightyear, Jessie, and the rest of the beloved toys. Rather than creating another sequel simply because the franchise is popular, the filmmakers wanted to explore how these iconic characters would respond to a world that has changed dramatically since their first adventure. Childhood today is different from what it was in 1995, and the creative team saw an opportunity to tell a story that reflects those changes while remaining true to the heart of the Toy Story universe. One of the main reasons behind the film was to examine how the role of traditional toys has evolved in the modern era. Children now grow up surrounded by smartphones, tablets, video games, and other forms of digital entertainment. Pixar wanted to ask an interesting question. How do classic toys continue to find their place in a world where technology plays such a major role in childhood? This idea provided the foundation for a fresh story that feels relevant to today's audiences while still celebrating the timeless joy of imaginative play. Another reason the movie was made was to continue the emotional journeys of characters that audiences have loved for decades. Woody, Buzz, Jessie, and their friends have each experienced tremendous growth throughout the previous films. Instead of leaving their stories unfinished, Pixar wanted to show how these characters continue to adapt, face new challenges, and discover new purposes. The filmmakers believed that there were still meaningful, emotional experiences worth exploring, allowing the characters to evolve naturally rather than simply repeating past adventures. The film was also created to introduce the Toy Story franchise to a new generation of viewers. Many children watching Toy Story 5 were not even born when the earlier films were released. Pixar wanted to create a movie that long time fans could enjoy through nostalgia while also ensuring that younger audiences could experience these beloved characters for the very first time. By balancing familiar faces with fresh ideas and contemporary themes, the movie connects multiple generations through a shared cinematic experience. Another important goal was to preserve the legacy of one of animation's most influential franchises. The Toy Story series has always been known for combining groundbreaking animation with heartfelt storytelling, memorable characters, and universal life lessons. With Toy Story 5, Pixar aimed to continue that tradition by delivering another emotionally engaging adventure that reflects the same values of friendship, loyalty, courage, compassion, and imagination that have defined the series from the very beginning. The filmmakers also saw this project as an opportunity to demonstrate how far animation technology has advanced since the original Toy Story revolutionized computer animation in 1995. Every new Pixar production introduces improvements in lighting, character animation, visual effects, environmental detail, and cinematic presentation. By producing Toy Story 5, the studio could showcase decades of technological innovation while using those advancements to support stronger storytelling rather than simply creating more impressive visuals. Finally, Toy Story 5 was made because the creative team believed that great stories should continue only when they have something meaningful to say. Instead of revisiting the franchise solely for commercial success,
Pixar set out to create a film that explores modern childhood,
changing relationships, personal growth, and the enduring importance of friendship. The result is a movie that honors the emotional legacy of the previous films while offering audiences a thoughtful, entertaining, and heartfelt new chapter that continues the timeless journey of one of cinema's most beloved animated franchises. The inspiration behind Toy Story 5 comes from a simple but thought-provoking question that reflects today's changing world. What happens when traditional toys compete with modern technology for a child's attention? As childhood continues to evolve with smartphones, tablets, video games, artificial intelligence, and digital entertainment becoming a larger part of everyday life, Pixar's creative team wanted to explore how these changes might affect the timeless bond between children and their favorite toys. This modern reality became one of the key inspirations that shaped the movie's central idea. Another major source of inspiration was the emotional legacy of the Toy Story franchise itself. For more than 30 years, these characters have represented friendship, loyalty, imagination, and unconditional love. Rather than abandoning those themes, the filmmakers were inspired to continue them in a way that feels relevant to a new generation. They wanted the story to remind audiences that, although the world changes, genuine friendship, compassion, and imagination never lose their importance. The creative team also drew inspiration from everyday childhood experiences. Children continue to form deep emotional connections with the toys they love, even though the way they play has changed over time. Pixar wanted to capture the excitement, creativity, and emotional comfort that toys can provide while acknowledging that today's children often balance traditional play with digital entertainment. This balance between old and new became an important creative influence throughout the development of the story. Another inspiration came from the idea of change and adaptation. Throughout life, people constantly face new situations, technologies, and responsibilities. The filmmakers believed that the toys should experience similar challenges, allowing them to grow without losing the qualities that make them who they are. Instead of presenting change as something negative, the movie is inspired by the belief that adapting to new circumstances can create opportunities for personal growth, stronger relationships, and fresh adventures. Pixar's own storytelling philosophy also influenced the film. The studio has always believed that the best animated movies entertain audiences while exploring meaningful human emotions. As a result, Toy Story 5 is inspired not only by adventure and comedy, but also by universal experiences such as belonging, purpose, courage, trust, family, and hope. These emotional themes give the movie depth, while allowing viewers of different ages to connect with the characters in different ways. The filmmakers were further inspired by the desire to respect the franchise's remarkable history, without simply repeating it. Every previous Toy Story film introduced a new emotional challenge, rather than revisiting the same conflict. Following that tradition, the creative team searched for an idea that would naturally move the characters into a new stage of their journey. Their goal was to create a story that feels both familiar and original, honoring everything audiences love about the series, while offering something genuinely new. Finally, Toy Story 5 is inspired by the belief that imagination remains one of childhood's greatest gifts. Even in a world filled with rapidly advancing technology, the movie celebrates creativity, curiosity, friendship, and the emotional value of toys that become lifelong companions. This timeless message serves as the heart of the film, reminding audiences that while childhood may change from one generation to the next, the memories created through imagination continue to last a lifetime. The development of Toy Story 5 began several years before its release, long before audiences saw the first trailer or official promotional material. At Pixar Animation Studios, every feature film starts with an extensive development process in which writers, directors, storyboard artists, and creative executives work together to explore new story ideas. Rather than rushing into production, the creative team spent considerable time discussing whether there was a meaningful new chapter that deserved to be added to the Toy Story franchise. Only after they were confident that the story offered fresh, emotional themes and a new direction for the characters did the project move into full development. Once the central concept was approved, the filmmakers entered the story development phase. During this stage, the screenplay, story structure, and character arcs were continuously revised. Pixar is well known for rewriting and refining its stories many times before animation begins. Entire scenes can be rewritten, reordered, or even removed if they do not strengthen the overall narrative. The goal is to ensure that every sequence serves a purpose and contributes to the emotional journey of the film. At the same time, the art department began creating thousands of concept sketches and visual designs. Artists experimented with character expressions, costumes, props, environments, lighting styles, and color palettes to establish the visual identity of the movie. Before any final animation was produced, the filmmakers carefully explored different artistic possibilities, allowing them to build a world that felt both familiar to longtime fans and visually fresh for a new adventure. Storyboarding became another major stage of production. Instead of immediately producing finished animation, storyboard artists illustrated the entire movie as a series of visual panels. These storyboards allowed the directors to study camera angles, pacing, emotional moments, and action sequences before the expensive animation process began. The storyboard version of the movie was reviewed repeatedly, with scenes constantly refined, until the storytelling achieved the desired balance between humor, adventure, and emotion. After the story reached a stable form, production moved into full animation. Character modelers, rigging artists, animators, Lighting specialists, technical directors, and visual effects teams work together to transform the screenplay into a fully realized, computer-animated feature. Every character movement, facial expression, environment, lighting effect, and camera movement was created digitally with extraordinary attention to detail. Because Pixar strives for the highest level of quality, even small scenes often required multiple revisions before receiving final approval. Voice recording also played an essential role throughout production. Rather than recording every line at the very end, voice actors worked with the directors during different stages of development. Their performances often influenced the animation itself, with animators carefully adjusting facial expressions, gestures, and body language to match each actor's delivery. This close collaboration helped create characters that feel natural, expressive, and emotionally authentic. As production continued, the music, sound design, and editing departments gradually joined the process. The musical score was carefully composed to support the emotional rhythm of the story, while sound designers created realistic audio effects that brought every environment and character interaction to life. Editors then assembled the completed sequences, refining the pacing to ensure that the movie maintained a smooth flow from beginning to end. Throughout its development, Toy Story 5 remained a highly collaborative project involving hundreds of artists, technicians, and filmmakers across numerous creative departments. Every stage of production, from the earliest story meetings to the final rendered frame, required years of planning, creative experimentation, technical innovation, and teamwork. This careful development process reflects Pixar's long-standing commitment to quality, ensuring that Toy Story 5 continues the franchise's tradition of combining world-class animation with emotionally engaging storytelling and memorable cinematic experiences. Unlike live-action movies, Toy Story 5 does not have traditional filming locations. Because it is a fully computer-animated feature produced by Pixar Animation Studios, there are no physical movie sets, outdoor shooting locations, or on-location camera crews. Instead, every scene is created digitally by teams of artists, animators, lighting specialists, and visual effects experts using advanced computer animation technology. The entire world of the film is built inside computers, allowing the filmmakers complete creative freedom over every environment, object, and camera movement. The primary production work for Toy Story 5 takes place at Pixar Animation Studios in Emeryville, California, USA. This is where the film's story is developed, characters are designed, environments are created, animation is produced, visual effects are added, and the final movie is assembled. Hundreds of artists and technicians work together at the studio over several years to transform the screenplay into a finished animated feature. Rather than traveling around the world with cameras, the creative team builds every location digitally from the ground up. Although the movie is not filmed in real places, many of its environments are inspired by everyday locations that audiences immediately recognize. The filmmakers carefully study real houses, children's bedrooms, living rooms, schools, playgrounds, parks, stores, roads, and public spaces to make the animated world feel believable. By observing real architecture, furniture, lighting, textures, and household objects, Pixar creates environments that look familiar while still maintaining the magical perspective of toys living secret lives. Every location in the movie begins with concept artwork. Environment artists produce hundreds of sketches and digital paintings to explore different layouts, colors, lighting conditions, and architectural details before any three-dimensional models are created. Once a design is approved, modelers build the location digitally, adding furniture, walls, windows, decorations, vehicles, vegetation, and countless small details that make each environment feel realistic and lived in. One of the most remarkable aspects of Pixar's production process is its attention to scale. Since the story is told from the toy's point of view, ordinary human environments appear enormous. A simple staircase becomes a challenging obstacle. A kitchen feels like a massive landscape, and everyday household objects suddenly become important parts of the adventure. This unique perspective influences how every digital location is designed, making familiar places appear fresh and exciting through the eyes of the toys. Lighting artists also play a crucial role in creating these digital locations. They carefully simulate natural sunlight, indoor lighting, shadows, reflections, weather conditions, and nighttime scenes to give every environment a cinematic appearance. Whether the story takes place during a bright summer afternoon or a quiet evening indoors, every light source is carefully adjusted to support the mood and emotional atmosphere of each scene. Another fascinating element of the production is the extraordinary level of environmental detail. Background artists fill every location with realistic objects such as books, toys, furniture, posters, plants, electronic devices, clothing, decorations, and countless everyday items. Even objects that appear on screen for only a few seconds are carefully designed, helping each environment feel authentic and believable, while rewarding attentive viewers who notice the smaller visual details. Because the movie is entirely computer-generated, Pixar's filmmakers are not limited by the restrictions of real-world filmmaking. They can move the virtual camera through tiny spaces, follow characters from impossible angles, or create large-scale action sequences that would be extremely difficult to film in live action. This creative freedom allows every location to be designed specifically to enhance the storytelling, making the environments feel dynamic, immersive, and perfectly suited to the toy's adventurous world. Ultimately, the filming locations of Toy Story 5 exist not on physical movie sets, but within the digital world created by Pixar animation studios. Through years of artistic design, technical innovation, and meticulous craftsmanship, the filmmakers transform ordinary everyday places into extraordinary cinematic environments, allowing audiences to experience the familiar, human world from a magical new perspective that has defined the Toy Story franchise since its very beginning, the making of Toy. Story 5 is the result of years of creative collaboration involving hundreds of artists, animators, writers, designers, engineers, editors, and technicians working together at Pixar Animation Studios. Although audiences experience the finished movie in just over an hour and a half, every scene is the product of an incredibly detailed production process that takes several years to complete. From the earliest story discussions to the final rendered frame, the film passes through countless stages of planning, revision, and refinement before reaching theaters. One of the most fascinating behind-the-scenes facts is that the movie went through multiple story revisions during development. At Pixar, the first version of the script is never considered the final version. Writers and directors continually improve the story by rewriting scenes, changing dialogue, adjusting character arcs, and even removing entire sequences if they do not strengthen the emotional impact of the film. This commitment to constant improvement is one of the reasons Pixar movies are known for their strong storytelling. Before any animation begins, the entire movie is created as a storyboard film, often called an animatic. Thousands of hand-drawn storyboard panels are assembled with temporary dialogue, music, and sound effects to create a rough version of the complete movie. This allows the filmmakers to study the pacing, emotional flow, humor, and action before spending years producing the final animation. Many scenes are revised several times during this stage until they achieve exactly the right balance. Character animation is another area that requires extraordinary attention to detail. Every smile, blink, hand movement, eye movement, and facial expression is carefully animated by artists working frame by frame, rather than moving like simple digital models. The toys are designed to express subtle emotions through body, language, and facial expressions. Animators often study real human performances and physical movements to make even fictional toy characters feel believable and emotionally authentic. The production team also invested significant effort into creating realistic environments. Although the movie takes place in an animated world, every room, piece of furniture, toy, floor, wall, and everyday object is modeled with remarkable precision. Because the story is shown from the toy's perspective, ordinary household items appear enormous. The artist carefully adjusted the scale of every environment so that audiences experience the world exactly as the toys would see it. Another interesting behind-the-scenes detail involves Pixar's use of advanced animation technology. Compared with earlier Toy Story films, Toy Story 5 benefits from decades of improvements in rendering, lighting, simulation, and visual effects. These technological advances allow the studio to create more detailed textures, softer lighting, realistic reflections, improved shadows, natural cloth movement, and highly expressive facial animation while maintaining the colorful, visual style that defines the franchise. Voice recording is also much more collaborative than many people realize. Instead of simply recording every line once, the actors often perform multiple versions of important scenes. Directors work closely with them to capture different emotional interpretations, allowing the creative team to choose the performances that best fit the story. In many cases, animators later adjust the characters' facial expressions and timing to match the actors' voices as naturally as possible. Music and sound design are developed alongside the animation rather than being added only after the movie is finished. Composers, editors, and sound designers carefully coordinate each scene so that the music enhances the emotional atmosphere without overpowering the dialogue or action. Every sound, from footsteps and moving toys to environmental effects, is carefully crafted to make the animated world feel immersive and believable. Perhaps the most remarkable behind-the-scenes fact is the extraordinary level of teamwork required to produce a Pixar feature. Story artists, character designers, modelers, rigging specialists, animators, lighting artists, technical directors, editors, composers, and producers all contribute their expertise to a single project. Every department reviews and improves the work of the others, creating a highly collaborative filmmaking process where quality is prioritized at every stage. Ultimately, the behind-the-scenes story of Toy Story 5 is one of patience, creativity, innovation, and collaboration. Years of artistic development, technical excellence, and careful storytelling come together to create a movie that feels effortless on screen. Understanding the enormous amount of work invested behind every character, every environment, and every emotional moment gives audiences an even greater appreciation for the craftsmanship that continues to make the Toy Story franchise one of the greatest achievements in animated filmmaking, one of the greatest strengths of Toy Story 5 is its character-driven storytelling. Instead of focusing only on action or adventure, the movie explores how each major character responds to change, uncertainty, and new challenges. Every important toy has a distinct personality, unique motivation, and emotional journey that contributes to the overall story. Rather than existing simply to entertain, the characters represent different ideas about friendship, loyalty, courage, leadership, and personal growth. Their individual development is what gives the movie its emotional depth and makes the adventure meaningful for audiences of all ages. Woody continues to be the emotional heart of the franchise. His greatest strength has always been his willingness to place the needs of others before his own, and this quality remains central to his character. In Toy Story 5, Woody demonstrates wisdom, patience, and selfless leadership while facing situations that require difficult choices. Instead of relying only on bravery, he solves problems through compassion, understanding, and experience. His journey reflects the idea that true leadership is not about giving orders, but about inspiring trust, protecting friends, and making sacrifices when necessary. Buzz Lightyear represents determination, discipline, and unwavering optimism. Throughout the film, he approaches challenges with confidence while remaining deeply loyal to the friends who have stood beside him for many years. Buzz's character shows that real courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite uncertainty. His partnership with Woody continues to demonstrate one of animation's greatest friendships, built on mutual respect, trust, and shared responsibility rather than competition. Jessie brings energy, resilience, and emotional strength to the group. She is courageous, resourceful, and never hesitates to protect those she cares about. Throughout the story, Jessie often becomes the source of encouragement during difficult moments, reminding everyone that hope and determination can overcome even the toughest obstacles. Her positive attitude and fearless personality make her one of the most inspiring members of the toy family. The supporting toys each contribute their own unique qualities that strengthen the group dynamic. Some characters provide comic relief through humorous conversations and clever observations, while others contribute practical ideas, emotional support, or unexpected solutions during moments of crisis. Their different personalities create balance within the team, showing that every individual has something valuable to offer regardless of size, appearance, or ability. The movie also introduces new characters who bring fresh perspectives to the story. Rather than existing simply to expand the cast, these newcomers challenge the established characters to think differently about friendship, purpose, and adapting to an evolving world. Their interactions create opportunities for growth while introducing new emotional dynamics that keep the story feeling fresh, without losing the spirit of the original films. One of the most impressive aspects of the character writing is how naturally the relationships evolve throughout the movie. Instead of dramatic personality changes, the characters grow gradually through their experiences. Every challenge they face teaches them something about themselves and about the people around them. Their development feels believable because it emerges from the choices they make, rather than from sudden or unrealistic transformations. Another important element of the character analysis is the balance between strengths and weaknesses. None of the characters are portrayed as perfect heroes. Each one experiences moments of doubt, uncertainty, or emotional struggle. These imperfections make them relatable and allow audiences to connect with them on a deeper level. It is through overcoming these personal challenges, not just external obstacles, that the characters become stronger. By the end of the story, the emotional chemistry between the characters remains one of the film's greatest achievements. Their conversations, disagreements, acts of kindness, and unwavering loyalty create relationships that feel genuine and heartfelt. Whether the movie is delivering comedy, adventure, or emotional drama, the characters remain the driving force behind every important scene. Their friendship continues to remind audiences that trust, compassion, teamwork, and unconditional support are the true foundations of every great adventure. Ultimately, the character development in Toy Story 5 demonstrates why this franchise has remained beloved for generations. Each major character brings a unique personality, emotional journey, and perspective to the story while contributing to the film's larger themes of friendship, loyalty, courage, adaptation, and hope. Together, they create a rich and emotionally satisfying cast whose relationships remain the true heart of the Toy Story universe, ensuring that audiences continue to care deeply about their adventures, no matter how much the world around them changes. Toy Story 5 is one of Pixar's biggest and most ambitious productions to date, and its financial performance has reflected the enormous anticipation surrounding the film. According to industry reports, the movie was produced with an estimated production budget of approximately $250 million, making it one of the most expensive animated films ever made. Such a massive investment covered several years of story development, cutting-edge computer animation, voice acting, visual effects, music, editing, and the work of hundreds of artists and technicians at Pixar Animation Studios. The budget reflects not only the scale of the production, but also Pixar's commitment to delivering world-class animation and emotionally engaging storytelling. The movie enjoyed an outstanding theatrical launch. During its opening weekend, Toy Story 5 earned an estimated $312 million worldwide, including about $159.7 million in North America, making it the biggest opening weekend of 2026 at the time of its release and the largest opening in the history of the Toy Story franchise. This exceptional debut demonstrated the continued popularity of Woody, Buzz Lightyear, Jessie, and the rest of the beloved characters, while also attracting a new generation of moviegoers. The film continued to perform strongly in the weeks that followed, maintaining impressive attendance in both domestic and international markets. Positive word of mouth, strong family appeal, and Pixar's worldwide reputation helped the movie remain one of the top-performing releases throughout the summer. Instead of experiencing a sharp decline after its opening weekend, the film displayed remarkable staying power, attracting audiences across multiple generations. As of late July 2026, Toy Story 5 has crossed the remarkable milestone of $1.2 billion at the worldwide box office, with approximately $448.5 million coming from domestic theaters and about $573.5 million from international markets. By reaching the billion-dollar mark, it became the highest-grossing movie of 2026 and joined the exclusive group of Disney and Pixar films that have earned more than $1 billion globally. This achievement further strengthens the Toy Story franchise's reputation as one of the most successful animated series in cinema history. Beyond theatrical ticket sales, the movie is also expected to generate substantial additional revenue through premium, video on demand, digital purchases, Blu-ray and DVD sales, streaming distribution, television licensing, merchandise, toys, books, clothing, and other licensed products. Like previous Toy Story films, these post-theatrical revenue streams are likely to contribute significantly to the movie's long-term commercial success. Overall, Toy Story 5 has proven to be both a critical commercial success and a major financial triumph. With a production budget of around $250 million and worldwide, earnings already exceeding $1 billion, the film has not only recovered its production costs many times over, but has also reaffirmed Pixar's position as one of the world's leading animation studios. Its extraordinary box office performance demonstrates that, even after more than 30 years, the Toy Story franchise continues to captivate audiences around the globe and remains one of the strongest brands in animated filmmaking. The official trailer for Toy Story 5 is carefully structured to introduce audiences to the movie's new direction without revealing its biggest surprises. Rather than telling the entire story, the trailer focuses on creating excitement, curiosity, and emotional anticipation. It reintroduces the beloved characters, while hinting at the fresh challenges they will face in a rapidly changing world. Every scene is selected to build suspense and encourage viewers to experience the full adventure in theaters, instead of giving away the film's major plot twists. The trailer opens with familiar and comforting visuals that immediately reconnect audiences with the Toy Story universe. Viewers are reunited with Woody, Buzz Lightyear, Jessie, and several other beloved toys, reminding longtime fans why these characters have remained popular for more than 3 decades. The opening moments emphasize warmth, friendship, and nostalgia, before gradually introducing the new conflict that drives the story forward. As the trailer continues, it begins to reveal that the toys are facing a completely different type of challenge from anything seen in previous films. Instead of focusing only on physical obstacles or finding their way home, the story hints at a world where modern technology has become an important part of children's daily lives. Without revealing every detail, the trailer suggests that the toys must adapt to changing times while continuing to fulfill their purpose of bringing happiness and imagination to children. The middle section of the trailer increases the pace by showcasing a series of exciting adventure sequences. Audiences catch brief glimpses of daring escapes, fast-moving action scenes, unexpected encounters, and emotionally charged moments. The editing becomes quicker, allowing viewers to experience the scale of the adventure without fully understanding how each event connects to the overall story. This technique builds suspense while preserving the movie's biggest surprises. Another important feature of the trailer is the introduction of several new characters. Rather than explaining their complete roles, the preview offers only short appearances that spark curiosity. These characters appear to bring new personalities, fresh ideas, and different perspectives to the story, suggesting that they will play significant roles in the toys' latest adventure. By revealing only limited information, the trailer encourages audiences to discover their true importance during the full movie. Visually, the trailer highlights Pixar's remarkable advancements in animation technology. Every frame showcases highly detailed environments, realistic lighting, expressive facial animation, rich textures, and smooth character movements. From colorful indoor settings to large outdoor environments, the visuals demonstrate how much the franchise has evolved since the original Toy Story, while still preserving the familiar artistic style that audiences instantly recognize. The trailer also places strong emphasis on emotion. Alongside moments of comedy and action, viewers witness scenes that hint at friendship, loyalty, courage, and personal growth. Quiet conversations, thoughtful expressions, and emotional music suggest that the story will once again balance humor with heartfelt storytelling. This emotional focus has always been one of Pixar's greatest strengths, and the trailer reassures audiences that Toy Story 5 continues this tradition. Music plays a crucial role throughout the preview. The trailer begins with gentle, nostalgic melodies that remind viewers of the franchise's long history, before gradually building into a powerful orchestral score as the adventure becomes more intense. This musical progression creates excitement while reinforcing the emotional journey of the characters. The soundtrack helps guide the audience's feelings without revealing the outcome of the story. One of the trailer's most effective techniques is its careful use of mystery. Important plot points, major character decisions, and the movie's climax are intentionally kept hidden. Instead of answering every question, the preview encourages viewers to speculate about the story and develop their own theories. This balance between revealing enough information to generate excitement and withholding enough to preserve suspense makes the trailer particularly effective as a piece of marketing. Overall, the Toy Story 5 trailer succeeds in reintroducing beloved characters, presenting a fresh central conflict, showcasing Pixar's extraordinary animation, and promising another emotionally rich adventure without spoiling the film's biggest moments. It captures the spirit of the franchise while demonstrating that this new chapter offers fresh ideas, meaningful themes, exciting action, and heartfelt storytelling. By the time the trailer ends, audiences are left with a strong sense of anticipation and curiosity, eager to discover how Woody, Buzz, Jessie, and their friends will face their next unforgettable adventure. The marketing campaign for Toy Story 5 generated tremendous excitement long before the movie arrived in theaters, and its trailers quickly became some of the most watched. Promotional videos released by Disney and Pixar in 2025-2026, the first teaser immediately attracted worldwide attention because it marked the return of one of the most beloved animated franchises in cinema history. Within the first 24 hours across YouTube and multiple social media platforms, the teaser reportedly generated around 142 million views, demonstrating the enormous anticipation surrounding the film. As additional promotional material was released, audience interest continued to grow. The official trailer accumulated more than 27 million views on YouTube with an approval rating of about 95%, while the final trailer surpassed 17 million views and maintained an approval rating of roughly 94%. These impressive numbers reflected strong audience engagement and confirmed that excitement for the movie continued building as the theatrical release approached. Public reaction to the trailers was overwhelmingly positive. Many longtime fans expressed excitement about seeing Woody, Buzz Lightyear, Jessie, and the rest of the familiar characters return for another adventure. Viewers praised Pixar's remarkable animation quality, richer lighting, detailed environments, expressive character designs, and the emotional atmosphere presented throughout the trailers. Many comments described the visuals as some of the most impressive in the franchise, while others appreciated that the marketing balanced nostalgia with a completely new story, instead of simply repeating earlier films. Another aspect that generated significant discussion was the movie's central idea of toys facing a world, increasingly influenced by modern technology. Many viewers considered this a fresh and timely concept because it reflects the changing way children play today. Rather than relying only on familiar storylines, audiences felt that the trailers introduced a conflict that seemed relevant to modern families while still preserving the emotional heart of the Toy Story series. This modern premise sparked widespread conversations and fan theories across social media platforms. The trailers also encouraged extensive online speculation. Fans carefully analyzed individual scenes, searched for hidden details, discussed the roles of newly introduced characters, and debated how the story might unfold. Because the promotional videos intentionally avoided revealing major plot twists, viewers created countless theories about the film's emotional direction, possible surprises, and the future of the franchise. This level of fan engagement helped maintain excitement throughout the marketing campaign leading up to the theatrical release. Professional entertainment. Media also responded positively to the promotional campaign, highlighting Pixar's confidence in continuing one of animation's most successful franchises. Following the movie's release, the strong audience interest generated by the trailers translated into outstanding box office performance. Toy Story 5 eventually became the highest-grossing film of 2026, earning more than $1 billion worldwide, showing that the enthusiasm created by the trailers successfully carried over into ticket sales. Overall, the trailers for Toy Story 5 proved to be highly successful promotional tools. They attracted tens of millions of views, generated widespread discussion across the internet, received overwhelmingly positive reactions from fans, and built enormous anticipation without revealing the movie's biggest surprises. By combining nostalgia, emotional storytelling, spectacular animation, and an intriguing new premise, the marketing campaign successfully reminded audiences why Toy Story remains one of the most beloved animated franchises in the world. The heart of Toy Story 5 lies in its unforgettable cast of characters and the talented voice actors who bring them to life. The film reunites many of the franchise's most beloved characters while introducing new faces that expand the Toy Story universe. Each member of the main cast plays an important role in the story, contributing a unique personality, emotional depth, and perspective that helps shape the movie's adventure. Together, they create the strong chemistry and heartfelt relationships that have made the Toy Story series a global favorite for generations. Woody, voiced by Tom Hanks, returns as one of the central characters of the story. Woody is known for his wisdom, kindness, leadership, and unwavering loyalty to his friends. Throughout the franchise, he has always placed the well-being of others before himself, making him one of Pixar's most respected and emotionally complex characters. In Toy Story 5, Woody once again finds himself facing important decisions that require courage, compassion, and selflessness. Tom Hanks' warm and heartfelt performance continues to give Woody the sincerity and emotional depth that audiences have loved since the very first film. Buzz Lightyear, voiced by Tim Allen, also returns as a major part of the adventure. Buzz is brave, determined, and deeply committed to protecting his friends. Although he once believed he was a real space ranger, his journey throughout the franchise transformed him into a loyal companion and trusted leader. In this new chapter, Buzz continues to demonstrate confidence, optimism, and resilience while confronting fresh challenges. Tim Allen's energetic and charismatic voice performance remains one of the defining elements of the character, helping Buzz balance action, humor, and heartfelt emotion. Jessie, voiced by Joan Cusack, once again plays an important role within the group. Jessie is fearless, energetic, and full of determination. She approaches every challenge with enthusiasm and never hesitates to support her friends during difficult moments. Her adventurous spirit, emotional strength, and optimistic personality make her an essential member of the toy family. Joan Cusack's expressive performance brings warmth, humor, and authenticity to Jessie, allowing the character to remain one of the franchise's most beloved heroes. Another familiar face is Bullseye, Woody's loyal toy horse. Although Bullseye does not speak with words, the character communicates through expressive animation, body language, and emotional reactions. His unwavering loyalty, playful personality, and close bond with Woody continue to make him an important part of the team. Through subtle animation and carefully crafted performances, Bullseye remains one of Pixar's most charming supporting characters. The movie also features Rex, the lovable green dinosaur, voiced by Wallace Shawn. Despite his intimidating appearance, Rex is gentle, nervous, and often lacks confidence. His humorous reactions and genuine kindness provide many of the film's lighthearted moments, while his loyalty reminds audiences that true courage often comes from overcoming personal fears, rather than appearing fearless. Ham, voiced by John Ratzenberger, returns with his signature wit and sarcastic sense of humor. Ham is intelligent, practical, and quick to deliver clever observations during stressful situations. His humorous personality adds balance to the emotional tone of the movie, while his experience and common sense often help the group solve unexpected problems. The story also reunites audiences with Slinky Dog, whose friendly personality and dependable nature continue to strengthen the team's bond. Slinky has always been one of Woody's closest friends, offering encouragement, loyalty, and unwavering support whenever the group faces uncertainty. His calm presence reminds everyone that trust and friendship remain the foundation of every successful adventure. Alongside these familiar characters, Toy Story 5 introduces several new toys whose identities, personalities, and roles are gradually revealed throughout the story. Rather than simply increasing the size of the cast, these newcomers bring fresh perspectives and create new relationships that challenge the established characters in meaningful ways. Their arrival allows the franchise to grow naturally while preserving the emotional connections that longtime fans cherish. Together, the main cast of Toy Story 5 combines decades of beloved characters with fresh additions that bring new energy to the franchise. As Toy Story 5 continues its successful journey in theaters around the world, it has once again proved why this franchise remains one of the greatest animated series ever created. The movie has received an overwhelmingly positive response from audiences, with many viewers praising its breathtaking animation, emotional storytelling, memorable characters, and the perfect balance between humor and heartfelt moments. Longtime fans especially appreciated seeing Woody, Buzz, Jessie, and the rest of the beloved toys return for another meaningful adventure. While younger audiences enjoyed the exciting action, colorful visuals, and fresh new characters introduced in this chapter. Of course, no movie is without criticism. Some viewers felt that the story played it a little safe and wished it had taken even bigger creative risks. Others believed that certain new characters deserved more screen time and deeper development. However, despite these opinions, the overall response has been highly positive, and the movie has been praised as a worthy continuation of Pixar's most iconic franchise. One interesting detail that many fans noticed is how the filmmakers filled the movie with small visual references and nostalgic callbacks to previous Toy Story films. Careful viewers have spotted familiar objects, subtle background details, and emotional moments that pay tribute to the franchise's long history. These hidden touches reward longtime fans while making repeat viewings even more enjoyable, as many of these details are easy to miss the first time. Overall, Toy Story 5 successfully combines spectacular animation, emotional storytelling, memorable performances, and timeless themes about friendship, loyalty, courage, and imagination. Whether you grew up watching the original Toy Story or you're discovering these characters for the very first time, this movie offers something special for audiences of every generation. It reminds us that while the world continues to change, true friendship and cherished memories always remain close to our hearts. And that's a wrap for today's video. We hope you enjoyed this complete breakdown of Toy Story 5. We'd love to hear your opinion, so let us know in the comments what you thought about the movie and which character was your favorite. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to HollyBuzz for more detailed movie breakdowns, reviews, hidden facts, and behind-the-scenes content. Also, turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, keep enjoying great movies, and we'll see you again very soon in another exciting video here on HollyBuzz. Until then, goodbye and have a wonderful day.